KXLY4 News presents Made in the Northwest, brought to you by Great Floors.
They are companies that drive our community, making products used locally and throughout the world. Tonight, we showcase some of the best and brightest manufacturing companies in the Inland Northwest. This is Made in the Northwest, a KXLY4 News special.
Well, hello and welcome to a special edition of Made in the Northwest. I'm Derek Dice.
And I'm Robin Nance. Tonight, we're going to show you how easy it is to shop local in this beautiful place we call home.
Yeah, from stoves and pans to drinks and soaps, it's all made by your neighbors right here in the Northwest. And what better way to start than by checking out a home away from home that can take you anywhere you want to go.
Nestled among the Cabinet Mountains in western Montana sits Sherpa Trailers, a company with a name inspired by the mountaineering people of the Himalayas.
They get you there safely. They're the ones that pack your stuff, get you up Everest, get you down Everest. They take care of you while you're there. They get you home safely.
Sherpa gets you there and back in these mini campers known as teardrops that hook onto your car or truck.
Just basically kind of trying to get people off the ground. So sleeping in the dirt in tents, you literally just hook on and roll away.
Adam Montgomery and his two partners say Sherpa's customers aren't looking to spend big money on a high-end RV or trailer. They want something cheaper and more simple.
This gets me protected, gets me covered, keeps me dry, and gets me out in the woods. I can go play.
The trailers come in 4 basic models, the biggest being 5 feet wide by 8 feet long. The smallest is a 4x8 called the Sherpod, which fits in the back of your truck.
So this is Sherpa's 5x8 Bigfoot model, and a guy like me at 6 foot and 210 pounds can still sleep very comfortably inside.
I have a kxly-classics in my camper. I get better sleep in my camper than I do at my home. I don't know if it has to do with the whole cocoon effect or what, but it's enjoyable.
Every Sherpa trailer starts on this CNC router.
We do a 3/4 inch exterior grade plywood on the interior. We do legitimate 2x4 ribs across the top. I'm 240 pounds. I'd stand on this roof all day long.
After Montgomery builds the chassis himself, Sherpa's employees build the boxes.
And we put them together, we made them up and bolt them together and do all the wiring and get it all taken care of.
They come with features like tongue boxes, roof racks, kayak racks, and fold-out awnings to keep you out of the rain.
All this stuff is standard stuff that we do. These aren't add-ons.
And from the time you order one,
within 4 to 6 weeks, you're taking your camper out and going camping with it.
Sherpa sold 30 trailers last year, but they've already surpassed that number this year.
And we still have half of the season yet to build, so we're still on track to probably be in the 60 to 70 range this year.
Montgomery hopes to keep growing the company. But like a true Sherpa, what he really wants is to keep taking care of customers and put smiles on their faces.
They say thank you so many times. It's like, it's wonderful. This is literally the most rewarding job I've ever done in my life.
Whoa!
If you're heading out on an adventure in your trailer, why not take along a perfectly Northwestern drink, hard apple cider?
Yeah, Spokane's One Tree Cider sells in 4 states and is trying to add a 5th.
Grant Barnes wanted a home brewing kit for Father's Day, but his wife bought him a cider making kit instead, and his first attempt was a disaster.
Ended up turning into vinegar, and then we were like, we live in the Apple State, like how hard can this be?
Barnes and Neil Hennessy were co-workers at a cell phone company when they decided to fully commit to making cider.
And it just exploded. People obviously love cider, and we kind of filled that need here in Spokane.
They knew they were onto something with One Tree Hard Cider when they received a call from the Post Street Ale House.
Up until that point, no one had ever called us and like demanded our product.
One Tree uses only Washington apples, and its ciders are 100% natural.
We're using all real fruit puree. We use real apple cider. There's no concentrate craziness in there.
And Barnes and Hennessy are pretty much the opposite of cider snobs.
We're goofballs. We're nerds. We like having fun. We like experimenting. We want people to not have to guess like what's in the product.
One Tree makes 4 core ciders and several seasonal ciders as well, but its lemon basil is by far its most popular.
They taste it and they're like, how do I get it? How much can you give me?
One Tree opened this cider house on South Madison on the west end of downtown back on September 1st. They always feature 20 ciders on tap, and not just their own.
And we can bring awareness to not only the cider movement and what ciders can differ from dry to sweet, And then obviously we have food, and it's just it's a fun environment for all of our friends.
These days, One Tree is making about 80 barrels of cider a week, or over 100,000 gallons a year. Every other week, it bottles a massive amount of cider and spends the rest of the time breaking down and cleaning equipment in draft kegs.
It's constant. We're operating 5 days a week, and most of the time 6 days a week, just to make sure.
One Tree has distribution in 4 different states, with a 5th on the way, and it can be found just about anywhere in Washington and Idaho.
Total Wine & More, Costco, Bevmo, and all the local chains that have helped us so much, like Yolks and Rosars, Super Ones.
And after doubling in sales every year so far, the future for One Tree looks as sweet as its ciders.
We can build that awesome business culture and hire more people, and we can grow that message about who One Tree is and what we're going to do for the community.
From drink to food now, one Coeur d'Alene company started out almost 20 years ago as a bit of a hobby to fill the need for gluten-free and allergen-free foods.
And now it's a thriving business selling millions of products a year. Check out Namaste Foods.
Gluten-free and allergen-free foods are everywhere these days, but they weren't in 2000 when Daphne Taylor started Namaste Foods.
Thought I would just give it a try and see if I could come up with some recipes that would be good and that people who are struggling with food challenges could eat.
It started with just 4 baking mixes and grew organically. Namaste didn't advertise, it didn't even have a brochure.
In spite of ourselves, it continued to grow by word of mouth and just people loving the food.
It now offers more than 50 products. Baking mixes are still its mainstay.
That's what primarily people know us for.
But it also makes plenty of what it calls bridge foods, things like pastas, noodle soups, and even cake cups.
So a way to try to help people move to a healthier lifestyle with foods that are more approachable and familiar to people.
And everything is free of the top 8 allergens.
Gluten/wheat is one. Soy, eggs, dairy, tree nuts, peanuts, shellfish, and fish.
Namaste Foods moved into its own facility in 2011 after cutting ties with co-packers who didn't meet their high standards.
You can kind of see some of the checks and balances we put in place to make sure our food is good and safe and clean and healthy, and we'll never regret that decision.
The mixes start by loading up the ingredients and dumping them into one of Namaste's 2 massive blenders.
It's blended up for 20 minutes or so. It's dropped into what we call a tote, a big tote.
After the mix is tested, it's taken to the production line where the mix is first filled into bags. Then it's packaged, partly by machine and partly by hand. And finally, it's boxed and ready to ship. It all moves pretty fast.
We go up to 45, 50 a minute for some of the lighter products.
Taylor says Namaste's 35 employees are producing about 5 to 10 million units a year, and they don't plan on slowing down.
We've never had a year that we haven't grown, so we're very happy about that.
You can find Namaste Foods at locally owned grocery and health food stores like Pilgrim's Market in Coeur d'Alene.
Those local people have really been key to our success.
As the company continues to grow, it's focusing more on online sales, but it also plans to start contract manufacturing out of its allergen-free facility.
We feel like we've got it down pretty darn well right now, and so we want to offer that service.
But whatever the future holds, Namaste is at peace knowing that its products
are the safest, cleanest products on the market for people with food allergies.
We are just getting started with our trip around the Northwest.
Still ahead, a look at a local product that was a big hit on the ABC show Shark Tank. You'll want to add this bear bowl to your camping supplies.
Then take your cooking to another level with some top-notch pans made locally, sold globally. Welcome back. A Spokane couple is getting a big boost with their idea for making camping easier thanks to the ABC show Shark Tank right here on KXLY4.
And check out the great idea behind Bare Minimum Outdoors.
Corey Santiago has always been fascinated with camping and survival gear. But in every survival kit, the one thing he believed was missing
was a pot that you could take with you in a small thing or a small form factor, and so that was like, there needs to be one of those.
So he started tinkering with the Teflon used in food processing, but the bowl would burn up after a few uses.
As soon as I added the metal base, then it was like, aha.
That metal base allowed Santiago to use it about 70 times.
From 5 to 70 is much better because I didn't want to create something that was a disposable item that, you know, people are chucking in the forest.
Santiago also wanted his bear bowls to fold flat and be able to fit in your pocket.
Having something that you can actually pack up small, put on your belt or in your pocket is really key, I think.
A Kickstarter campaign got the ball rolling for Bare Minimum Outdoors, which started making bear bowls in work parties like this one inside the Santiago's home. They come in 3 sizes: the baby bear, mama bear, and papa bear.
It's strong, it's tough like a bear, it goes outdoors like a bear, and then it's, you know, it's the minimum that you need to take with you.
That Kickstarter caught the attention of ABC's Shark Tank, but at first, Santiago thought the call was a joke.
Oh, you're the executive producer from Shark Tank. Wow, lucky me.
But about 6 months later, after selling bear bowls in 30 countries, Santiago returned the call and immediately heard back.
Oh, okay. It's feeling more real.
And this summer, the Santiagos, along with business partner Tim Kraus, dressed as a bear, went to LA to record their episode.
It was intense.
Making their pitch for bear bowls in front of the sharks.
We've created the next evolution in camping cookware, and we are changing the way you eat outdoors.
The cook pot that folds flat.
They received offers from 2 sharks and accepted one from Jamie Siminoff, the founder of Ring Home Security.
It enables us to go out more outdoors. We need to get our kids out.
That kind of stuff really rang true with us. That's where we're at, and it just seemed like a good fit.
Bare Minimum is still ironing out the details of its deal with Siminoff, but since the episode aired, it's seen a major uptick in business.
We would have a few orders a day, and now we're in that 100 mark, and it's supposed to just keep going from there.
And now, Bare Minimum can see beyond the forest with plans for an industrial-sized bear bowl and more.
We have several other items that go with the bear bowls, and then complementary to the bear bowls that'll be coming soon.
And they're hoping to capitalize on the exposure from Shark Tank.
We're now out in the light a little bit, and so people are seeing it.
From camp cooking to kitchen cooking, the Northwest has you covered. Lloyd Pans has been around since 1986 and made its mark with its pizza pans.
But this Spokane Valley company has more to offer after expanding in the last few years.
All of the top pizza chains in America use Lloyd pans to bake their pies. Domino's, Pizza Hut,
Little Caesars, Papa John's, all of those.
But the Spokane Valley Company wants you to know it's not just about pizza pans anymore.
We opened it up to different markets, bakery, food service, also the industrial side for medical, telecommunications, solar, construction.
Basically, Lloyd looked around at all the machines in its 80,000 square foot facility and realized it could make just about anything out of sheet metal.
We felt like we need to expand. We have the core competencies to do so, and so we just want to continue growing.
In fact, Lloyd has grown over 200% since 2011 and is now ISO certified. It has about 40 full-time and 20 part-time employees. Part of that growth could be credited to customization.
You name it, you know, we make it for our customer. We are partnering with them to get them where they need to be competitive with their customers.
Lloyd even has design and food science engineers who develop products and try them out in their test kitchen.
Our customers actually send us their recipes or their products so that we can develop a pan just for what their needs are.
One product line that's been taken off lately is Lloyd's Detroit-style deep dish pizza pan.
There's been many stories written about our products here for the quality of the pan.
Another is landscape pans, like this one for paninis.
They put them in a speed cook oven and they're in there for a minute or two and there's a panini.
But whether it's a pizza pan, a cake pan, or anything else, the entire manufacturing process is done in-house. From the laser cut and punch machine, to the spinning lathe, to the anodizing line, which coats the products with chemicals to reduce corrosion.
Lloyd's in-house anodizing system is already massive, but come the end of 2019, they'll have a brand new one in place 2.5 times this size.
It's all part of an effort to be a one-stop shop for customers all over the world as Lloyd continues to expand past pizza pans in the future.
Growing and be the innovators that we are and continue in different markets and gain more market share.
Taking an even bigger slice of the pie.
Well, did you know the Pacific Northwest has its very own version of Duck Dynasty?
We will take you to Spokane Valley for a look at how Pacific Calls is being heard loud and clear.
Well, welcome back to our Maine in the Northwest special.
Pacific Calls can help you catch those waterfowl anywhere you hunt here in the Inland Northwest, and they're growing.
Whether it's a duck call, a goose call, or any other kind of call, the guys at Pacific Calls consider what they do for waterfowl hunting their calling.
My dad got me into it when I was just a baby, so he was a guide back in the day, and so I just followed him around, and you know, it's been in my blood for a long time, so I just wanted to continue it somehow.
We just found, you know, more or less a passion project, and, you know, luckily for us and our schedules, the way that life worked out, we're able to pursue it at a higher level than what most people are.
Co-owners Trevor Austin and Alex Jurgis started the company in Alex's garage.
We decided that this was something worth pursuing.
Before moving into this facility off of Montgomery.
We got our first piece of machinery 4 years ago, and then it's just been building ever since then.
Pacific Calls makes plastic and wood calls for ducks, geese, and turkeys. And because of its significant investment in machinery,
Our ability to get things done, offer custom work, and just be a more complete in-house company, you can't get better results than what we have going on here.
And these days, it's not just making its own products.
We are contracting out to, I don't know, about 15 to 20 other game call companies throughout the country.
Its laser engraver is a big draw for customers who want their own logo or artwork on their calls.
If anybody wants something certain on there that, you know, as long as it's able for us to get and retrieve and put it on there, then we're totally down to do it.
Different calls have different tones and pitches, which Austin and Jurgis tune themselves.
Different reed lengths will change that pitch, different slopes on the tone board change that pitch. It's just been years of blowing a duck call and a goose call and finding that right, perfect sound that you've been looking for.
Pacific Calls makes up to 200 of its own calls each month and up to 1,500 a month for other companies.
We're pushing out quite a bit of plastic and wood through the shop.
The calls start around $25 on the low end.
To a little over 200 on the very, very high-end stuff.
And while it's not a duck dynasty yet,
Beards will come a little bit later, and then the helicopter hopefully next year or so.
Austin and Jurgis still feel like they are living the dream, helping hunters do what they love.
I think people have a real connection to the idea that we're just real guys doing something that everybody dreams about doing.
Well, you can really clean up with amazing beauty products made right here by your neighbors.
Meet the business behind soaps, bath bombs, and sugar scrub cubes handmade from scratch.
It's a handmade soap and bath product company based in Coeur d'Alene, but with a footprint that's spreading around the world.
It would be madness to ignore Mountain Madness Soap Company, made in the Northwest.
Mountain Madness Soap Company opened this shop in downtown Coeur d'Alene in 2016. Jennifer Morcell started making soap as a hobby, giving it to family and friends as Christmas gifts. But it's bubbled into a full-time family business with 10 employees.
It's been absolutely amazing.
In the basement of its shop on East Sherman, all of Mountain Madness Soap Company's products are handmade from scratch.
Commercially, soap is made with detergent, so it is like night and day for people if they haven't tried the difference.
Its soaps are made with simple ingredients and no detergents or preservatives.
We use sustainable palm oil, organic coconut oil, and olive oil. We're turning oils into soap with the process of sodium hydroxide or lye.
Mountain Madness has about 50 different types of soap at any one time here in its store on Sherman and Coeur d'Alene, but there's one that sells more than any other, and it's their Goddess soap.
Goddess is our signature scent, which is our own blend of oils.
And a lot of scents are inspired by nature and our surroundings, including honey and huckleberry.
Obviously, when you live in Idaho, you have to have huckleberry at least in a few things.
But Mountain Madness makes a lot more than just soap. Its sugar scrub cubes are a blend of organic sugar and oils which create a moisturizing exfoliant. And lately, its bath bombs, a combination of olive oil, organic cocoa butter, and Epsom salt, have started outselling its soaps.
So you dry your bath, you drop it in, it fizzes, it spins, it releases the cocoa butter and Epsom salt, and it's really moisturizing for your skin. You feel good when you get out.
It's also about to release a new line of facial care products, but Mountain Madness is committed to giving back. Recently, Jennifer and her husband Andy traveled to Guatemala with a nonprofit called Hearts in Motion.
We taught a village of women and actually a couple of men of how to make soap and to run a viable business.
And now
they're making soap, and they were really proud of themselves and sending us pictures, and it's a viable business for them now, and they're able to make money.
And as Mountain Madness continues to grow,
the more philanthropy we can do and the more donations and things for different products.
There's also talk of opening more stores in the near future and spreading Mountain Madness even further. It's big stuff for a small soap company that started as a simple hobby.
We're really grateful every day that we get to do this.
And we're really grateful too. Thanks for watching and letting us show you some of the many amazing products made in the Northwest.
Remember, you can see all of our episodes of Made in the Northwest by going to our website, kxly.com. News stories air every Thursday on Good Morning Northwest and on KXLY 4 News at 6.
We thank you for watching. We'll see you next time.
We're always looking for more local manufacturing companies to feature on Made in the Northwest. If there's a company you think we should feature, you can email me at derekd@kxly.com, find me on Twitter, or call the KXLY 4 newsroom at 509-324-4004.